Hello, my name is Dan Wolgy, and I'm here to explain to you a very important issue that the state government of Minnesota is debating at this very moment. But before I tell you what that issue is, I'd like you to listen to something. Just kind of close your eyes and imagine you're watching TV. Okay. And we're back here in the Super Bowl, and there's 3 seconds left, and Adrian Peterson gets the ball. He jukes, he dips, he ducks, he dives, he hurdles all the way to the end zone. Touchdown Vikings. And with that, folks, the Super Bowl has been won by the Los Angeles Vikings. Open your eyes a second. The what? The who? The Minnesota Vikings. Nope, that's not what I said. The Los Angeles Vikings. Think about that for a second. The Los Angeles Vikings. Does that sound kind of weird? Well, maybe to some it does, maybe to some it doesn't. But the way things are right now, it could be a stark reality. The existence of the Los Angeles Vikings and the leaving of the Vikings from Minnesota. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about. Whether or not the Vikings should receive state funding for a new stadium will impact whether or not they can remain in Minnesota or go to Los Angeles. One side believes that the state should give funding to the Vikings for a new stadium. This side is led by Democrat Governor Mark Dayton. Governor Dayton's reasoning is simply that if we create a new stadium, there will be multiple benefits. It will create jobs for construction. It will create a boom for the economy in terms of local businesses, for restaurants, hotels, airports, gas, to traveling to the games, all those sorts of things. Not to mention the revenue and concessions. Additionally, the governor and those who want to keep the Vikings in Minnesota believe that the Vikings provide a certain intangible, undocumentable sense of state pride that we are the Vikings, we have our team, and they go out. Now, lately they've been disappointing, but they give us proud. They give us something that unites us and brings us together as a state. On the other hand, those who oppose state funding for a new stadium believe that it is immoral and unethical to raise revenues to provide millions, hundreds of millions of dollars for a new stadium while there's huge and important areas that need funding, such as schools, energy, social programs, programs that help the poor. Why help a multi-million-dollar franchise? Why give a millionaires more millions when we've got poor people, when we've got broken down schools, when we've got broken down buildings and roads? Those are tough questions that don't have easy answers. But one thing we do know is that things will be interesting coming right up. We will find an answer. The governor has recently said that he's going to call in a special session of the state legislature into effect, which means that we'll know one way or another before Thanksgiving. So there you have it, folks. On one hand, we have the Minnesota Vikings, where we have hundreds of millions, and I can't be specific because there's no bill been written into effect yet, so we don't know the specific numbers of it yet, and I don't want to make up any numbers and misinform you. But on one hand, we have keeping the Minnesota Vikings, we have new jobs, we have a boom to the economy, and we have the maintaining of state pride, good old Minnesota Viking pride. And on the other hand, we have the argument that if we can't come up with money for schools, why come up with money for millionaires? Let them go to Los Angeles. Let's provide funding for our schools. So there you have it. Will the Vikings stay in Minnesota? Will the Vikings stay in Los Angeles? You know the arguments, and now it's up for the government to decide.